Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm gonna hop right into it. No time to waste. Is there a God? Piers Morgan, Grills, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Let's get it. Let's go.
The most popular scientist in the universe ever, Professor Neil deGrasse Tyson, whose new book, just to do a bit of media sensationalism, Neil, his new book, To Infinity and Beyond, is out this month. It's absolutely riveting. You write about this stuff so brilliantly. You bring it all so alive. I want to go into a few things, but first of all, the key question for me with all this, especially when I was reading your book, how much do you think we know, and how much do you think we don't know about what's out there?
That's a great question, and I can actually quantify that answer. So there are these things, this dark matter you might have heard about. So dark matter is 85%. It's responsible for 85% of the gravity in the universe.
Really?
We have no idea what it is, but we can measure it. There's dark energy responsible for the accelerated expansion of the universe. We can measure that, but we don't know what's causing it. And then you add up all of these sort of what these forces are doing in the universe. It's 96% of what's driving the universe. And all the forces of nature that we know and love, gravity, electromagnetism, the strong and weak nuclear forces, life, chemistry, biology, physics, that's in 4% of the universe. So we know enough about the universe to quantify our ignorance. So we know 4% of what's going on out there.
Wow.
But also keep in mind that as the area of our knowledge grows, so too does the perimeter of our ignorance. And that is the very soul of science. That there are questions, people say, what questions do you want answered? Yeah, I don't think that way. I think, what question do I not even yet know to ask?
I think that's the really interesting part, is that you're probably not even thinking of the great question, right? Because there may be something...
Correct, I lose sleep over that, yes.
Now, I know you're an avowed atheist. How can you be so certain that there
He never
is
claimed
no
to be an atheist.
supernatural, godlike entity out there, given that we know so little?
Well, first, I don't count myself among the ranks of avowed atheists.
For sure.
And I'll give a fast example why. A friend of mine went up to fix the Hubble telescope, on the space shuttle, and on my Facebook feed, I said, Godspeed to the space shuttle astronauts. And then in the comment thread, it said, I thought you were an atheist. How could you possibly say that? And so the fact that I gleefully said that, and atheists complained about it, clearly I'm not an atheist. Okay?
What are you?
My favorite Broadway musical of all time is Jesus Christ Superstar, which I saw in real time in New York City. I don't know that atheists can, so I don't...
So is there a God then, Neil deGrasse Tyson? I'll be about to have breaking news.
I don't know.
Is there a God?
Okay, so what I will tell you is that there are a lot of unknowns in the universe, but just because there are unknowns does not mean there's a deity in the unknown. If you're going to assign a deity to that which... It doesn't mean there isn't, that's correct.
So you're more of an open mind about this, right?
Everyone should. If the unknown is the unknown. But the track record of people saying God is behind this, and then you add a little science to it and you find out, no, we can completely explain it and control it, then the history of that exercise is so rich with science discovering the unknowns that were previously ascribed to deity, like lightning bolts and weather systems. There was Poseidon, there was Zeus, just look at the history of this. I'm not given reason to say, we're going to find something, God is going to be in the center of that, and there'll be no science to apply. I
want to make a point real quick. I want everybody to know behind this camera who believes in God, right? There's over 5,000 different gods that have existed that we know of, right? 5,000 different gods that still exist somewhere throughout the world to this day, right? You're an atheist to 4,999 gods except the one you were taught when you were a kid. I just want to leave you with that thought. Just leave you with that thought.
Look for the science first, because that's how the history of this exercise is unfolded.
Now, I want to play you a clip. This is you talking to Joe Rogan about vegans.
Oh shit!
To save animals. I've never seen anyone say save the leeches.
No one cares about bugs.
Save the ticks. And you can ask, if you really into animals and don't want to kill them, if you heard that ticks were endangered, would you start a movement to protect ticks? Would you do that? And if you would, more power to you. But I'm thinking you're not.
They're not. It's the little guys they don't care about. I've had this debate with vegans. I had one last week. I have it every month. And I always point out, most vegans I know munch away on almonds and avocados, and they turn a blind eye to the fact that this causes the mass murder of billions of bees, mainly in California. They don't want to have that debate, because they don't care about the little guys, Neil.
But my only reaction there is, that comment was addressing only vegans who are vegans because they don't want to kill animals.
Yes, no, I agree.
Other reasons to be vegan,
of course,
for health or the environment.
No, I'm talking specifically
the
ones who run into steakhouses playing sounds of cows being slaughtered. They're the ones that munch avocados and almonds, invariably.
Yeah, and by the way, and they are dining upon the reproductive organs of plants. That's kind of weird. And I imagine if a plant-based alien visited Earth, they would freak out when they saw vegetarians, because the vegetarians would be eating them, right? And vegetarians target not only the reproductive organs, the nuts, the berries, the flowers, but they also target the infant versions of it, with baby lettuce, baby carrots, baby. This would terrify a plant-based alien. So that's just a cosmic perspective on that.
No, you have given me a whole new line of attack. The flower babies, I love it. This is fantastic. I find
that's dangerous. If it's dangerous to feed you more lines of attack, because I don't know what you're going to do with it.
But I always like to take these things to their debates to their logical end, right? I mean, and it seems to me when it suits them, they care about the bigger animals, the cuddly ones. But when it comes to the little guys, they're not interested. Now, I want to talk about
the furry ones, especially.
Something even more iconic, actually, than God or vegans, and it's your moustache, which has become one of the world's most famous moustaches. And here's extraordinary. There's a whole website that's been set up called deGrasse Tyson's Moustache. And we did a bit of research ourselves, a bit of scientific research. And there's a moustache montage that we have here, which is quite extraordinary. It turns out almost every brilliant scientist has had a magnificent tash. Nikola Tesla, the inventor extraordinaire, great tash. Louis de Broglie,
they're going into a weird area now.
Nature of all matter.
All right, it's going into a weird area now. Don't really care about his mustache, to be honest, and I'm pretty sure you guys don't either. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. Like, I never thought, like, think about it. Like, I just wanted to drop that for you. You're an atheist to 4,999 gods except the one you were taught when you were a child. You don't believe in Zeus. You don't believe in Brahman. I'm pretty sure I'm talking to a lot of Judeo-Christians. You believe in the God of the Bible. You don't believe in Allah. You don't believe in anything that has to do with any other culture or religion. You believe in one God, and that one God you were taught. And I guarantee you, if you weren't born in Western society, you were born in the Middle East, you may believe in Allah. If you were born in China, or you were born in anywhere where Zoroastrianism is still present, right? You would probably believe in Ahura Mazda, right? You would believe in wherever you were born. So I challenge the fact that you believe what you believe for the reason you believe what you believe it for. Because the same thing you say that your life has been handed to God and God did these things for you, somebody else can say that about the God they believe in. That is the question. That is my big question when it comes to religion. Why does everybody who talk about religion have very similar concepts, just different gods? Different beliefs, different saviors, different messiahs, whatever the hell we want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't gonna lie. I rocks with Jesus. I know that sounded very contradictory, but I like what Jesus had to say in the Bible, and I have to say that because I care about somebody and I want them not to think that, you know, I don't rocks with Jesus. But I do have that question. Like, anyways, I'm out, y'all. Peace.